Hello, welcome to Friday. Good morning, everybody. Today I'm Laura, and today I'm gonna paint this fantasy acrylic painting. We're gonna start on it. It's gonna be a multiple day project because I want to make this one really nice. Okay, so today I'm just gonna sketch it on. As you can see, there's already a little bit of something drawn on there just so that I have an idea of what's gonna be, but I'm gonna sketch it with some lighter color so that you can see much better. And we're gonna make a beautiful story. It's gonna be a dreamy kind of scene. You can see the reference photos. Sorry, guess I should be talking to the microphone. There's a link in the description below about the reference photos. I'm using two to make a completely different story, and they're on Patreon, so check that out. So I'm drinking water right now and coffee because it's kind of hot. It's humid. It's warm and humid in Pennsylvania. It's 11 o'clock. Let's do that. I'm also gonna get... Oh, I'll be right back. Okay, I need music too. So, let me get the grab that. Where it is. And so... Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. Hope you're enjoying the music. Alright, so as you can see in that picture, there's a... Oh, I always kind of like to start with like a golden spiral sort of situation. That gives me really a nice skeleton. Gives me a nice skeleton for my composition, and I kind of know where to put the details, and like it gives me a nice structure, compositional structure. So then we have the spiral here. So I'm trying to put all of the major details along that spiral. So we have in the first picture, let me get my reference photo too. Hey, Eddie! So good to see you here. I'm still getting music. All right. Well, all right, so finally, I'm gonna move right over here so that you don't need to see me. It all started with a fish. I was looking on Pixabay, which is a wonderful reference place for reference, and I've been wanting to do a big fish for a while, and I just never knew when it's gonna happen. And I just happened to bump upon this one kind of like a fantasy picture. The music cut out. Oh no. What happened? Oh, no, the weirdest thing. I was telling my phone to cast onto my Bluetooth headset, but instead the computer decided to cast on my phone on the headset. That never happened before. Alright, so I have this big-bellied fish, and you know, sometimes what I like about the stories that it develops, with every single detail that you keep adding on, kind of realize that it's a whole story that rubs together, and you never even knew. I'll tell you the story, don't worry. It all starts with this fish, which in the beginning was a benevolent sort of fellow, you know, just like this doofus looking fish meeting this girl underwater in a scene that seems sort of underwater, very dreamy. I'm not going overboard with details at the moment, because I'm probably not gonna get to painting the fish in this session. But I just wanna give it a nice structure. See, I'm learning from Lewis to do straighter lines, because I usually do all sorts of make everything kind of round. Yeah, I'm that person. It's me. Artistic. There's no mistakes, only happy accidents. Okay, so we have the fish here. And then we have so let's do the girl, and then I'll get this scene out of the way. I'm making like a separate little clip here. I don't want it to be exactly the same, you know? How's the music now? This is really simple. We're making stick figures, that's right, stick figures. And I'm changing the pose of the girl a little bit. Instead of looking down for some reason. Why is she looking down in the picture? I want to make her on an angle, sort of as she's reaching out with her hand to you know, tame this guy. I'll tell you who he is, you know, in a sec. He's not just a fish. Of course he's not. And her face is not really that important, or it's really small, so you're not going to be able to see much, but you know, I'm not going to be adding any details today. So this scene is fine on its own. Like, the picture is really beautiful and atmospheric, and I really love the contrast of the let me show you if you're not seeing it on the. So this is the picture that I'm talking about, with the fish, and the background is so soft that it has those little bubbles, and then the darkness of the foreground, and then the fish is quite detailed. You see there's a lot of detail, and it's shiny and crisp, and I really like the contrast. Oh, sorry. I really like the contrast between the background and the fish. But I thought it's not really finished, you know, it's not like okay, I'll turn it down. Thank you. How's it now? I hope it's better. So then I wanted to add something extra, you know? Okay. And then I kept looking for these reference photos, and I want to make it even a more scene with not a more scene, but they have more stuff in it, you know, more juicy scene, as it were. And as I was looking also on Pixabay, I also stumbled upon this picture. Come on, camera, focus. Okay, this picture, also kind of dreamy. It's got planets, and I was debating whether to add some planets in there to make it like a cosmic scene, because I always love to overcomplicate things. But I wanted something made, you know? At one point this morning, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool to make Atlantis there? So then I thought a castle would be awesome. So then the fish, as I was sketching the castle today, just a couple minutes ago, I was thinking this is perfect, because then the fish can be. So I'm just tracing what I already did, so you can see that better. But the fish is the guardian of the castle, just as a dragon would be. So instead of having a dragon, a guardian, we've got a fish guardian. So this fish, very, you know, strong, and it's a real fish. I'm not striving to make this castle exactly the same too, so the other way. But just using it to figure out how a castle would look like. This nice fence around. We have a turret here, or sort of tower. Its windows. If you want to do the castle exactly the same, you may. Just wanted a castle, and I'm using this as a reference to make one, but you don't have to make it exactly the same. I also enjoy the way the light is falling onto the castle. Really nice and atmospheric. All the angles. The sketch might have been better in pencil form rather than charcoal pencil form. And then I thought it would be nice if there was some sort of planet, because after all, if it's a surreal painting, then it can be anything. And I didn't want to give up the idea of having a planet in here. So maybe this could be a planet, only lit up a little bit on that side. And here, some ruins, really, really far away. And you can barely see it. Again, please don't judge this. This is like the sketch phase. It's gonna get much better. Because the other picture, the picture with the castle, also has a Disney castle. I want to make this even fainter. So I'm gonna mix some paints now. I'm gonna show you the paints that I'm using. All right. So this is my Stay Wet palette. Got paint on my fingers. Okay. So today I'm gonna be using some of the Arteza paints, like this. I don't know, Arteza. Using phthalo phthalo blue. Can't really see it very well. The light is not premium. I can bring some light here. Got better. Doesn't look like phthalo blue. Okay. Moving on. Phthalo, no, this is ultramarine blue. Phthalo blue is very dark. It's really difficult to see it. And I have some phthalo green. And these are gonna be my main colors. Then I have some titanium white, which I'm gonna be using quite a lot of, and I have some black. And this black is not Arteza, this is Montmartre. I ran out of good quality black. if you count Arteza as good quality, which is okay. And then to give more atmosphere to my painting, maybe we'll use some yellow ochre. Sorry about that noise. Apparently there's some water filtration going on right now. And we're gonna mix these colors a little bit. And get a little bit of white and black. This black is really strong. I want this blue to not be too bright, you know, because underwater everything is kind of milky and subdued. So the gray will give it atmospheric effect. Mixing all my phthalo blue like this. This is still a very dark color, so even this, it will be probably on the edges, but I'm gonna be mixing this with a whole lot of white to lighten it up a little bit. It's kind of like a dark bluish gray, grayish blue. And I don't necessarily need to clean up my palette knife. Getting a little bit of black, making some ultramarine blue with the same mixture. Let me try something out. Did that help? Did that help the colors? I'll figure it out. I'll find out in a sec. This really darkened the ultramarine blue. I think it's more transparent because it almost disappeared. Let's turn the light back on. I don't think it made much of a difference. I think it's better like this. I'm gonna add a little bit more ultramarine blue to that. Okay, then I have some green here too. I'm gonna just grab a little bit of green and add less. I think the green is also a little bit transparent. Oh, you can't see, sorry. Just put some green, white, and black. A little tiny bit of black, not a lot. I think I'm gonna add some more because this green is actually really, really strong. Pigmented. I'm gonna put some, want a little bit of blue in there. Make it a little teal, a little bit teal, and some white. This will make really nice background colors. Nice watery effects. I'm gonna add some white on my palette so that I have lots of white. And add just a teeny tiny bit of blue next to each color in case I want a little bit more color and less atmosphere. All right, so I have a oh, by the way, if you don't see what you don't know what I'm using here, this is a Stay Wet palette. If you're familiar with acrylic painting, your acrylic paint will dry very fast. And oh, thank you so much, Eddie. I appreciate it. So this is a Stay Wet palette. There's a wet, what do you call it? Sponge underneath here. And this will keep your paints fresh until you need to finish a painting if you're not finishing it in one sitting. So mine is quite big, actually. Oh, this way. It's kind of big. I don't know what size this is, but you know, it holds a lot of paints. So yeah, let's do this. And I promise that I'll figure it out. How to make two cameras so that you can see my paints at the same time as what I'm doing. So you can see what I'm dipping in and all that fun stuff. That will come in time. Okay. Some big paintbrushes, so grab your big paintbrushes. I locked my focus so that I don't steal it. I don't need the focus right now. I need to focus, not to defocus. Okay. So we're most likely going to apply 2 layers of paint. I had another fish to choose from, but I still chose this one. All right, so grab your big paintbrush, get some water. I hope you have some rags if you're painting along. I'm dipping in my phthalo blue mixture, the one with the gray, and then you know what? I'm gonna stand because this chair is so noisy, and it's annoying me. And then getting a little bit of white as I come down. Maybe it's a little always gonna make some gradations. We're gonna mix some colors. So this is how you paint, how you will blend acrylic paints. I like to do it wet on wet because it's much easier and it gives it that soft effect. And I'm not worrying too much right now about that because this is just the first layer. It's like an underpainting, as it were. And you can also do this with just black and white. Sometimes I do just the tonal, the values, tonal values, that's it. And maybe I'll get a little bit of the ultramarine mixture as I come down. Remember the clip. I'm not getting a whole lot of paint, just a little bit of paint on the brush. See, it's not completely loaded. Because if you load it too much, then you have to spread it fast and then it doesn't blend well. So just keep your paintbrush wet, like damp. And just a little bit of paint on the brush. Don't load it too much. It's better to give it a thin layers rather than too thick layers. And I just dipped it in water real quick and I'm damp. I just dried it up. And maybe I'll just go in white again. I want this area to be bright around the planet. Maybe a little in the green mixture now. Maybe some phthalo blue mixture right now and a little bit of white. I want this to be a little brighter next to the castle. So the story is that this brave young girl probably is dreaming right now because this is a very dreamlike sort of scene. This girl is dreaming of an adventure and somehow she ends up in this place that looks like it's underwater, and she meets the guardian of the castle, which is beautiful fish. And instead of slaying it, she decides to make friends with it. How's that for a twist? Plot twist? I don't know. Just phthalo blue mixture. Make it a little darker underneath. Is it darker? Yeah. Green now, a little bit of green. Let's do some of the blue now, the ultramarine blue. And I always love to paint the sides as well. I don't know if you guys paint the sides of your canvas. So what you doing, Eddie? You doing this Friday noon? Friday noon. A little green now. A little green, and I'm adding a little bit of black. I want some black actually here, darker. A little darker. The green and black, a little bit of blue too. Yeah. Oh no. It's gonna call again because it's my mom. I wanted to add a little bit of ochre too. Around the green, I think would be nice to have a little bit of ochre. A little bit of color. Up here. Ciao mama, am un live stream. Alô? Alô? Ah, ciao. Nu pot să vorbesc acum, am un live stream la YouTube. Live stream, YouTube live stream. Doamne ajută, pa! Pa, pa! Oh, your figure drawing. Well, welcome to Romanian. Oh, that's okay, because, you know, you gotta be bad before you're good. On the bright side, I learned that... Oh, no. Sorry, I think I just stole your music again. Okay. That was my mom. Oh yeah, let me move this back here. Have the light back here so that there's not so much glare. There was some glare over there. Yep. YouTube and live stream. Hey, Clara! Oh, hi. How are you doing? Welcome. You just missed the conversation with my mom. There's nothing really important in it though. It's funny how the same words apply in so many languages. Alright, I'm getting some phthalo blue and some white, and I'm just dabbling it over here. And we'll check. I wanted to make it a little brighter. Maybe I wanted to have that area a little bit brighter. But no worries, we're gonna do a second coat anyway. And to be honest, with the castle, I just didn't have a lot of time today to properly sketch it out. But I'll I'll do a better job when we actually paint it. I do like all the details of the windows and the angles, and I think they add a lot of, details are what make a picture special in my mind. More details and stuff to look at, and the way the light falls on something. I think that's what, and capturing the sort of very magical feeling is what makes a picture really special. And I have a lot of orbs of light and bubbles in this one, so there's gonna be some areas of brightness. Although over here it's already dry, we can still see. Yeah, Louis has a lot of patience. Has a lot of patience for his craft. I don't have so much patience. I see it. Maybe I see it, I have the idea, and I have to have it. And if it doesn't look good in a couple hours, then forget it. I spent a long time on my murals, but the murals, they're big. There are a lot of surface to cover. But yeah. So at this point, I think we're just going in the second layer, because this is already dry. And usually the second layer of acrylic dries way faster because there's already binders. So in the acrylic paint, there's some sort of additives to make the paint dry fast. And the second layer that you put on will dry much faster because of those existing bindings are already in the paint, and they cause the paint to dry faster than the first layer. So I guess the lesson is you gotta work fast. Adding some phthalo blue. Yes, I think it's got the level of expertise and experience makes him much more comfortable. And he knows that, every single step should take so long. I think inexperienced painters like me don't have the patience to see something through. So I put some more phthalo blue and black to make it a little darker down here, because then immediately I'm gonna be adding some water, and then a little bit of white. I'm adding white right now, and then I'm coming up, but I'm coming back down to blend. And maybe adding some, just some green, not the green mixture, just pure green. And I got some white, so this is quite a brilliant color. And always just blend down. Keep your brush moving, because it's drying fast. See, I think oil paints would be a lot easier to work with. I'm washing my brush and drying it, and now I'm going over, and then I can blend the two paints without having excess of paint on my brush. I'm drying, I'm wetting it again, drying it, and blending. And now the bottom part is blended. So this we have. Now we're moving upwards. I'm getting some of the green mixture And I'm going down and I'm blending it because it's still wet. So we can quell that bright. We don't have to have too much of that. You can get a clean brush, wet it just slightly, and now I'm blending. Okay. No problem, Clara. We know how it is to be busy. And yes, Eddie, once the paint is dry, you can't blend it anymore. You get streaks. So for example, if I was to try to blend this, like let me try to blend this with the white. See? Doesn't really blend. I mean, you get streaks, see? But when it's still wet, you can get a soft, see, it's already dry here, so I'm getting all these brush strokes. So there are some sort of liquids and slow dry mediums that help your paint dry a little slower. I don't have any out. I have them in the house, but I just can't take any out. Sometimes they can make the paint too transparent and they add a glossy kind of look. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're getting there. So getting some of the blue, getting some of the phthalo blue mixture. Coming upwards. Let's do this part over here before I move to the other side. Yes, Clara, viewers totally appreciate the details. Yeah, definitely. And I do too, because sometimes I view my art after a while, you know, and then I'm kind of wowed by the level of details that I sometimes add, and then I'm surprised by what I did. And I think that's one of the best feelings that an artist can have, is looking at an artwork with new eyes, like somebody else's eyes. Because I think that's what they say, why they say put it away and just look at it after a couple of weeks or a couple of months, because you totally see it with new eyes. You forget about it. You forget about your vision and about everything, and you see it as a total stranger would see it. And I have so many finished paintings that I look at them now, and in a way I've changed my style or just the topic of. I used to do these really intricate, like I call them transcendental fantasy paintings, and they're beautiful and big, and I haven't done one in a very long time. But I look at them now and I'm really pleased with what I did. Like, I've already done my masterpiece, and you can't think like that. Yes, Clara, I started working as a muralist, so painting walls and that's with house paint. That's latex paint, which is the closest thing to acrylic. And then after I had done, well, got some ochre. After I painted all of my walls, because that was pretty much my apprenticeship in painting, then I started painting on canvases with acrylic paint. So that's how I started. And now, just recently, I started experimenting with watercolors and inks and drawing. You know, when I started, I didn't really even did sketches. Can you believe that? Now, when I look back, I'm like, how could I have not made sketches for my paintings? I just jumped right into the painting part, you know? Think in a way, I think better in colors and shapes rather than lines and a definite structure. My brain is wired to be more of a vague kind of, you know, like Alan Watts used to say, there are two kinds of people: the prickly people who like everything ordered and just so and stuff, and they're goo people that like it vague and just, you know, it's by the feel rather than by the having to label it or call it a thing. And I'm more of a goo person. I'm a goo. Nice to meet you. So I go by the feel rather than the, I don't know. I'm trying to balance them out. And not really have to call it a thing and to say I'm like this, because I'm always changing. Like, you know, we're a million different people from one day to the next. We can change our mold. No. Okay, I'm just messing this up because I'm talking too much. See how it dried already? I have to go back and patch it. So yeah, work fast. That's more greenish down here. More of a green again. Yeah, it's true. There's definitely advantages to directly painting. Sketching, it's like planning. It's like planning on it. And sometimes you need to do that, especially when you do it for somebody else. Or, you know, when I started sketching after I had my bathroom mural, and I had this idea to do like you know, underwater scene and above water scene, and here would be the water line, and I wanted it to also show some of the waves and the shoreline with the waves crashing. So I really didn't know how to incorporate the shore, because I wanted to put coconuts in there and to show the water line like you see it underwater and the beach. So, and then I put the water line. I kept painting on that bathroom mural for like 2 weeks. I kept changing the water line. No, it should be lower. You can even see the line because there's like an indentation because the paint was a little thick. Also, when I started painting, my hand was really heavy. I left a lot of paint on the canvas and a lot of texture. And then I realized I can't work without a plan. I need a plan. but but when you just paint on the canvas with just letting yourself flow, that's also really nice. If I can even out some of these strokes. Okay. Getting a little bit of white and some of the ultramarine blue mixture. And coming up here, making a planet.
Slow a little down is what you said. I'ma get it over in my head. White t-shirt.
Circles are really difficult. You have to have a really steady hand.
Bright sneakers on, getting ready for a flashback. Time keeps moving on, looking at you feeling like I could never. Like I could never get enough of you. And I could never get enough of you.
Auto drawing. No, what is that? Never heard of auto drawing. Little green over there. I'm trying to almost match the color.
Time keeps moving on, looking at you feeling like I could never. Like I could never get enough of you. And I could never
It gets lost a little bit here. You know, I used to do that when I was younger. Actually, when I was in college, I think it was college or elementary school. I used to draw a lot on the back of the notebooks that I had, in class, in math class, because I hated math. And I had two artists in my class that came from the art school, and for some reason they were in high school for math and English. I don't know, but the math and physics, where I went to high school, for some reason I was so inspired by them, and I always wanted to be an artist because they inspired me. And I looked at them and the way they used to draw, and they made these kind of surrealist kind of scenes with just basically what I now understand to be doodles. They were doodles, but to me they were so surrealist and so Picasso-ish. So I used to do a lot of that, and just yesterday I was looking through my notebook and I found some, and you know how when you feel like you found treasure? Hang on, let me see if I can find them. And what I'm trying to say is that I think that they were auto drawings. Hang on. Here. Okay. And also, maybe that's the reason what inspired me to do this fish today, actually. Okay, hang on. No, maybe autofocus. Okay, this is what I used to draw in I think it was high school. So it's just kind of doodling. And then I did this one, and today I was looking at it, I'm like, ooh, that's really interesting. I don't know what it is, but it looked interesting to me. And then this is what I found, my treasure. Oh my gosh. It's a fish. What does it say? It says all killer, no filter. Alright, so there you go. I think pretty much these kind of doodles, they were my auto drawing. But unfortunately I don't do a lot of that. I don't do a lot of that anymore, but I have to get back to my creative childhood roots, because I feel like I'm slowly losing my soul. Okay, let's do this cliff. Let's see, what color cliff is it? It's brownish. There's some brownish in there. So let me get some, grab some burnt umber and put some of that on my palette. And you know, for the green, yeah, I already have green, but just using the same old brush, just cleaning it off on the palette, because it's gonna have the atmospheric color from the ocean. So even though the stone is brown or grayish brown, it's still gonna have this bluish flavor. So then I can just dip right into that. And this is just gonna be the underpainting. It's gonna be nice and soft. I'm grabbing some black, because also this is a little darker over here, darker than the water. This black is very strong. Oh, I'm sure it's very good for your creativity. I have some practices that I'm supposed to do for my creativity, and I suck at them too. I'm doing the Artist Way, a book. Do you guys know the Artist Way? It's like a 12-course rekindle your artist within sort of situation, and I keep failing at the artist date, which is every week you're supposed to take an hour for yourself to do whatever you want to do, you know, no limits, to just time with yourself. Nobody else is allowed to encroach upon your artist time. You can go, you know, you can watch your favorite movie, or you can, I don't know, take a walk, or go to your local art supply store and get stuff. And I'm not doing it. That's the part that you're supposed to write down every morning to do your morning pages, which is 3 pages of stream of consciousness, just writing. Doesn't have to be poetic, it doesn't have to be anything. It's just like a brain dump that allows you to leave all that stuff behind, so you can and also it shows you what you're thinking. And actually the morning pages I cherish, and I do as much as I can. I can't do them every day all the time, because I have other routines in the morning that I do. But I try to do them as often as I can. They're very helpful, I can say that for sure. They're very helpful. They allow me to have insights and unwind, and just leave stuff behind, especially since I don't talk to a lot of people. um, confessions and stuff like that. I'm not the confessional type to unload on other people. So, but I do acknowledge that we need to unload on something inappropriate. We need a release, or there we go. Now it's starting to look like stone a little bit, like a cliff. Oh. Adding a little bit of, I mean, we don't have to do that right now because we're gonna add some more, another layer, probably gonna add some more detail to this, but just want to add some texture. At the end of a paint session, you know, I do want to look at it and to say, wow, that was a good start. You know, it's not finished, but I can see where this is going. I can see potential in it. I would like this cliff to go a little more this way, don't you think? Just a little more. So I'm dipping into my green right now, and there's some black there. This green. Let me get some green and brown, of course, because the cliff is brown. This is quite dark, and a little bit of white. Okay. Trying to master this color. There we go. This thing is gonna look better if the cliff is a little bit like this. More brown, I think. And you know, the beauty of acrylic paints, Clara, is that if you don't like something, and if, for example, I painted this cliff and I don't like it, which I think I don't, I can go back and take it out much easier than watercolors. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know what I was thinking here. But I washed my brush, and while it's still wet, you can actually remove it really quickly. And this is also a lesson on how to remove acrylic paint from your canvas. But this only works if within like a minute. If it's within like a minute and the underneath paint had a little bit of time to set, then it's safe. But if a little more time passes, then you're not going to be able to do this. There. Oh, so much better, I think. I think I wanted this backwards a little bit. Yeah, see, the cliff is too straight. That's what I don't like about it. Gotta put more watercolor in there. Oh, green, I think it was. In order to blend paints, you can also do this. To blend the paint that is wet, paint that is dry, just feather it in really softly. And the thing I do like about watercolor versus acrylic is I feel like it's more economic. Yes, absolutely. Totally true. Yes, and yes. It's more economic, and I love that about watercolors too. In fact, I feel like, oh my god, I keep getting these subscription boxes, and I don't get time to use them. Yeah. But I do like to paint big. And that's good about acrylics. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna block in the fish. I'm gonna block in the fish, just looking at the major colors and tones, and see if then we have time to do the castle today too. So I see in the fish there's a little bit of pink as well, kind of like a magenta. Let me see. Maybe I'll just use red. Where's my... I'll just use red instead of pink. This crimson red. Teeny tiny bit. Just gonna be the first layer. Okay. Get a smaller brush now. And get this number 18, angular. Getting some white. So this fish is basically bright. There's some white in there, which has a little bit of green. We make the colors. I'm gonna make the colors, and then I'll show you what I have. So I'm doing the bright highlights, which are the white and a little bit of blue and green. And then we have some red, and it's a pinkish tone on his belly there. A little bit of pink. I'm adding the teeny tiny bit of ultramarine blue to that to see if I can make it a little purplish. I think it's working. Yes. And let me get some of the... Make these with different paintbrushes. And then I'm just gonna go right ahead on the canvas and do this. I think it's easier. So this is the bright color. More red and more blue. It needs more color. A little darker. I'm also adding some phthalo blue to darken it, because after all, he is underwater. More red and more blue. The phthalo blue mixture, because there's some shadows under here. And I'm gonna grab a different paintbrush to do the dark tones. I don't want to muddy up my... I do follow proper, mixing color etiquette to use a sufficient amount of paintbrushes so that you don't get mud. So that'll be my... I already put some color on this. So. And get some of that. I'm getting some of that white up here. Barely any right there, but there's his highlight right up here. And making it curved also suggests the curviness of the fish. And this fish has got the right curves. Getting some more blue. Let me get some ultramarine blue and phthalo blue and white. It's a little greenish. Right. We have, let's go do the darks. The darks are, get some black and phthalo blue. Make his I lost a little bit of its shape due to the background. We can retrieve it. We have some dark under here. Also, I have to keep in mind the light source. Always when you use different reference photos and when you use multiple reference photos and or work from imagination, you always have to imagine the light source and keep that in mind, because you don't have a reference photo to guide you where to put the highlights. So that's, that's another challenge in working from imagination versus, or from multiple reference photos versus just a one standard photo that you try to paint. Bit grayish there, but also you can see some reddish. This fish is gonna be fun to paint all the details on it. There's a lot of texture on it. It's a little brighter down here. back here, he kind of gets lost. You can barely even see him. Is one with the ocean. So what did I use up there? Phthalo blue, it looks like. Also, one of the things that I like about watercolors is that it's easier to put down color, and when you put down the color, it's more intentional maybe, because you know that you only have pretty much one shot at getting it down, and you know you can't really go back to fix it, the shape of it. Or if you put it down to dark, you can't really take away the color, but it also makes you more mindful of your painting, of every single brush stroke, you know. So I do like that. I like that it's, and you seem to finish a painting much faster than with watercolors, with acrylics. Watercolors, I usually just finish it in one sitting, and I never ever finish a painting with acrylics in one sitting, except for, well, I've been working on one-day murals. I started that last year, but you know, it's not really like a work of art per se, more like the mural. Murals are works of art, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's not a collectible. Not the one-day murals anyway. They can be cool though, and a lot of fun, and you can learn a lot from them. Speaking of one-day murals, I just painted one on my garage door. If you want to see the process, the video is gonna premiere this coming Sunday. I had quite a bit of fun. Okay, no. Do his mouth. Use a smaller brush here. I didn't think I would use a small brush today, but here we are. I don't want to use my fancy brushes from the watercolors. Okay. And then some more of that pink to go underneath. Brighten it a little bit. Not too bright. Getting a teeny tiny bit of yellow ochre. There's a little yellow ochre under there. Not yellow ochre, it's like yellowish. So I have a mixture of pink and blue. And yellow ochre, and let's see, I'm pretty sure it's way too bright. Way too bright. Let's add a little bit of phthalo blue mixture to that. And darken it down a little bit. More dark. And then yet more yellow ochre over there with a pink, with the red actually. I'm just put some red and yellow ochre and the dirty brush, and let's see what we have here. teeny tiny bit of white. I have a bright spot over there. Using my ultramarine blue light mixture, got a reflection. And the reflection is light from the sea. Get some white, make his mouth now. White, a little bit of ochre, and a little bit of red. And just a teeny tiny bit of blue because of the atmosphere. Oh, come on, Eddie. You promised me a picture. And you sent me a picture of when you were It looked too much of a fairy prince. I thought I was making a man into a fairy princess, not a kid into a fairy princess. Send me a proper picture and I'll make you into a fairy princess. You're not the same person you were then. Still waiting on it, and I promise you I will. His black mouth, his black eye. His black eye is actually looking at the girl rather than away from the girl, like in this picture. You sent me the wrong picture. Did you really think that was gonna work? Seriously? Come on. I mean, I know I portray a certain type of person, but come on. Have a little respect, man. There we go. Oh, this mouth is coming together. Oh, too bright. Quell it down with some grayish. Oh. Yeah, just pick it up. There's still have too much. What is happening to my brush? All right, let's see. I have a thing here. There we go. Don't worry, we'll work on the mouth. I'll work on the mouth on some future sessions. I want this to be a really nice one. I really like this picture and I want to work on it for a long time. Oh, that mouth is not right. That's what happens when I look at the picture. When I look at it from the side, it really messes with the way I see it. That's why I messed up. I mean, not that I want to blame things on things that I can't control anymore, but that's why I messed up my my Frida Kahlo self-portrait, because I was recording and I was looking at the picture the whole time from a side, and when I looked at it from the front, I'm like, oh no. So this mouth should be much smaller. There we go. Almost. Yeah, we'll figure out the mouth next time. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll bring his pupil back out. There we go. Looking at the girl. Even making his little eye there. See, I'm too eager to add some things to make it look better. But let's add his fins. And he has, I think, a distant fin back there. A distant fin that is quite dark. Oh, the picture is kind of weird. I can't really make it out exactly what it is. So I'm just going to do it the way I think it should be. Maybe a little smaller. You can also do that. Okay. Got a little reflection there. All right, let's look at our fish. Looks like he needs a little blending between these two areas. This is too dark and this is too bright, so let's bring them together a little bit. Getting some phthalo blue and mixture in black. And just coming over here like this. you know, making these colors look like they belong. And back there I'm seeing more ultramarine blue rather than phthalo blue. Just want a little indication. Not too much. And hey Louis, I started at 11. I started 2 hours later this time. I thought it would give people a little time to wake up, and also me to get time to get ready for this, because I did a little sketch before I started, so you know, I just didn't want to rush it. I don't want to keep running and yeah, let me put my okay. No, 11, not 11:30. I thought of doing it at 11:30. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do what Louis is doing. But I don't know. I'm digging 11 o'clock better than you know, 9 o'clock. What do you guys think? Do you guys like you guys like it a little later, or did you like it before? I don't know. I kind of like it a little later, like 11 now. How was this time for you? Okay, so I'm gonna do this distant ruins right now because it's a little closer to the colors. So I'm doing here the ultramarine blue mostly, the toned down ultramarine blue. So I'm gonna do the same mixture of ultramarine blue that is toned down and putting in some of the burnt umber to add just a little bit of color. Just a little bit of color. Maybe I'm gonna add, oh, there's also some phthalo blue in there. Really tone it down. Let's see what we got here. I don't want this to be You like the later time? Good, Clara. You don't like the later time? Oh, you're responding to Eddie. Good. Awesome. Oh, so good. Because it works for me better if it's later. That's good. Good to know. I'd rather not be alone here. I mean, I don't mind it, but, you know, setup and everything. I mean, what's the point if it's just me? I'm adding a little bit of white to that mixture because I think it was a little too dark. Now it's too bright. All right. So these are ruins. They don't need to be very detailed. They're ruins of a castle. I thought, what if this planet or something, I mean, I know it's a long shot, what if this planet makes castles? I mean, we're in a dream after all. Thank you, Louis. glad you like it. I thought I'd finally do a good painting, huh? What do I do here now? That wasn't supposed to be like that. I didn't finish my planet. That's what I did. I'm on my knees to make this painting. It's gotta be good. Like one of those dishes when you cook for the whole family and you're shaving, you know, you're cutting something, cutting some vegetables, and you cut yourself. Some blood gets into the food, and then you'll know it's really gonna be some good food. Because it's sacrifice. Machine guns on the hippo fish. A hippo fish? Machine guns? Let me show you, Louis, because you came later. I was showing Eddie and Clara the art that I used to be doing in college. No, not college. I was in high school. I was in high school and I was a repressed artist. No, I was just playing. I was playing around, and Eddie asked me if I ever did. What did you call it? Some sort of just free-form drawing, you know, just letting yourself draw. So this is the kind of, you know, this is the kind of stuff that I used to do just by myself, you know, unprompted, in the back of my notebooks in math class. Also this, apparently I was a big fan of the gorillas. It looks like. So yeah, doodles. But then I found this guy. You know, I also have a snake. I think I was a Metallica fan. I used to like Metallica back then, so I did this snake. But most importantly, what I wanted to show you is that look at this. Look at this fish. I found these drawings yesterday when I was cleaning up my stuff, and up here it says, "All killer, no filter." This guy's got piercings and is really dangerous. I mean, come on. Anyway, automatic drawing, that's what it is. Oh, don't worry, Eddie. Those are the best foods. And you know, the bullets can be bouncing off that force field. You always have to have some sunshine in the bag. That's right. I was thinking of this to be quite a peaceful sort of painting. I didn't intend to put, you know, violence. So, yeah, just wanted to show you that because that made my day yesterday when I found it. Really made my day. Just adding a teeny tiny bit of highlight here on this side, just on this side like this. I don't know why I went on here on the other side, because this will add a little bit of dimension. This is so far away, you're not even supposed to see it. It's like very, very distant. Oh my god. That's right. You guys are off the hook. You're hilarious. Violence does sell, but I'm not sure. Just not sure. I'm trying to recreate that color of the planet. Color of the planet. It had what did it have in here? Kind of like that, a little brighter. A little lighter. It's very similar to the color of the actual castle. And you can blend it just like with your finger. What is best in life? Those violence on my eyes. It's a sort of tough love, you know. I know Eddie loves you, Lewis. Alright, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out how to make it so itself. Jeez. Where's my rag? Oops. Okay, finish this castle here. We're gonna do another layer on this castle, so no worries for now. Sometimes when I just put one layer of paint, it's not thick enough. I'm probably gonna redo the planet too. We'll do that next time when I do the details in the background. There's gonna be details in the background, Lewis. You have to calm down. I am using Arteza. Using the Arteza acrylics. I know they're like a new thing that's happening. But you can just as well be using the Liquitex Basics. They're pretty much very similar. Or you can be using the Liquitex Professional. I have those too, but not out. To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you and hear the lamentation of their women. Oh. Okay, let's do this castle and call it a day. So I'm getting a little bit of the yellow ochre, a little bit of the burnt umber, and then I'm mixing that with my mixture that I made of the. Hang on, let me show you my palette here. I keep telling you about my mixtures, and you guys came a little after I mixed my paints. So you don't know what I've got. You don't know what I've been through. Okay. This is my my ultramarine blue mixture that I'm using over here. And I have my phthalo blue mixture over here, which is really toned down. And I have phthalo blue and phthalo green mixture over here. And then I have some white, have some yellow ochre that I'm using sparingly. Maybe over here. And then I have a little bit of red and some burnt umber and some black, of course. And yeah, that's my palette for this. Just so you know. Her name is Abir with an A, not just beer, Lewis. Yeah, you know, Arteza is pretty good, especially if you're just learning or just, you know, it's pretty good paint. And so is Liquitex. Those are the ones that I go for. Also Amsterdam, you know, as long as you get a tube rather than a little bottle, like the little craft paint. Don't get those. Those are yuck. More red. I will put more red in the maybe the girl's dress will be red. Maybe. But let's do the castle and then we'll just call it a day. So I'm getting some of that yellow ochre, I'm getting the burnt umber, and that makes it brown. And then I got some of the ultramarine blue mixture, which is ultramarine blue paint with black and white, so it's really toned down. And I'm making a mixture of those, which is kind of a warm gray, I would say. It's like a warm gray. Let's see how it looks on the... Making it warm gray because it needs to blend in. It needs to be atmospheric, you know? This is really, really neutral. I'm really hard at the subtle suggestions. He wants the water to run red with blood. Yes. Not the dress. No. I wasn't gonna make it red. No. I'm just kidding. Geez, Lewis, I don't know how to make it more violent. I'm not that kind of person. You know, I take out my frustrations in different ways. I don't put them in my paintings, and nor do you. You know, it tell me to do stuff you wouldn't do. Just making the windows darker so that I remember where the windows are, and the crevasses, the archways. Just want to remember so that I don't forget. You know, Lewis, I like fish. I just so happen to like fish. Why would you want me to kill the fish? The fish befriended this sweet girl. You know, here's the story. So the girl is dreaming. She is in a dream and she has an adventure dream, you know, like little girls do. And she wants to go to this castle to meet the prince or something. There you go. Look at this story just develop as it goes. So she goes to this castle to meet the prince, the love of her life, for example. I know, so gay. Is that even allowed? I feel like it's not. But so she meets, instead of a dragon, you know, that guards the castle, she meets this fish. And she likes fish, I think. And it's also maybe a Beauty and the Beast sort of story. Right? Yeah, that's still life. Kicked some butt. I just couldn't look at it without taking a sip of something unholy. So there you go, there's the story. And she's reaching out her hand, the fish. I see what you're saying, okay. I need to get a camera or to figure out how to do a double camera. I told you I'm a little slow. Also I'm doing the angles, the parts that angle away a little darker. These parts angle away. But not as dark. More green to counter the red violence. You guys are hilarious. Well, we'll see how this develops. You guys can, maybe we'll do it together. You can send me ideas, and maybe I will take them into account. I'm just making the side of the building that is in the dark right now. The side of the building that wraps away. So I'm imagining the light is coming from this side, although this fish has the light from this side. I don't know what's happening here. The pictures have different light sources. I might change the light source of the fish. Okay, cool. Look forward to seeing it. You challenge me? Ah, you challenge Lewis. Paint from imagination? Oh my god! Okay. So I'm adding these little towers that are small and wrapping away. I'm just adding the dark side over there like that. Don't worry, it'll all come together eventually. See, what are friends for? Backstabbing is a way to crush your enemies. Oh. I think the way you tag somebody, you just put at and their name. So if you want to tag somebody, for them to easily see that they've been mentioned, you just say at, Queldar or at Lewis. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. In my experience. Okay, let's add some highlight. Just adding some little bit of white to that. I might add a little bit of warm highlight from over there, so it might have a little bit of ochre. I think it's gonna have a little bit of ochre in there to warm it up a little bit. Oh, maybe I'll add some red. There you go. It'll be a red highlight, okay? It'll be a red highlight. Or orange. Because I put so much red. No, the red is really strong. Okay. Now let's see that highlight. That is very bright. Let's tone that down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, it really does. Hey, friend. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the chat. We're all chatting here. Some of us are better behaved than others, but we all mean good. We're all benevolent creatures here. Especially that fish. I guess I could have been bolder with a highlight. I could. Oh, that's still too bold. Sometimes I don't know how bright to make things to make them stand out, but not too bright that they're not believable. There. It's a little better. And again, this is just the first coat. We'll add more details in the next streams. I'm learning from Lewis to have patience and to not do things. Just take my time. Which is good. I'm a little bit of a hyperactive person. Slowly, it's coming together. Orc portrait. Ah. Ah. Let's look at this picture, how it wraps around. Come on, picture. I had a tower here somewhere, I got lost. Let's redo that tower there. Oh, was it that one? No, that was the arch. And everything over there is pretty much in the shade. Okay. Yeah, let's get over here. This tower is. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to see the reference photo that I'm using, well, I'm just, you know, like roughly using it. I'm not doing the exact same thing, but I'm looking at a picture, and the link is in the description. It's on my Patreon page. Ciao, Mama. Ciao. That's my mom. My mom joined the chat, guys. Oh, merci, Mama. I have to say it in Romanian because, you know, although super can be an English word. Mă bucur că-ți place, Mama. Maybe you can learn some Romanian, guys. Oh, that would be so cool, guys! If you can do a collab, Eddie and Lewis. Maybe one of you can start something and the other can continue it, you know, and do that. What am I doing here? Oh, look at you, Eddie. That's it. Oh. Vezi, prietenii mei sunt foarte prietenoși și respectoși. Just said that my friends are very friendly and respectful. Am I right? Okay, let me get some more of the dark in there to make the archways again. There is really light. Yes, Google Translate for the win. Always use Google Translate. So good. And Google Dictionary, like, what's another word for... What does this word mean? In fact, Eddie, I had to go and Google your long name, Quelder, the something, and let me see. Oh, it looks pretty good on the screen. Okay, it's getting there. It's 1:11, guys. I've been on this for like 2 hours. I think I'm gonna give it, you know, let me just finish over there. Let me just finish everything, cover every single inch, and I just have a little bit there. And then I'm gonna call it a day. I think today, Eddie, I will take the rest of the day just for myself and do something for my artistic. Maybe I'll do some automatic drawing. Maybe that'll be a nice use for the day. keeping in mind how how it wraps around. This one has it's six-sided, or it has quite a lot of sides. You can see three sides from this side, and then the lower one, something. Something of the same nature. That side is in the light. Oh, very bright. Let's make these highlights just a little brighter over here. Ooh, do a digital drawing side by side? That's awesome. Ah. Just lighting up this part because the light is coming and shining on that side, but over here it's in the dark because it wraps around. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and I'm really happy that this later time works better for you because it works better for me too. And yeah, I'm gonna continue this next time, and next time I'm gonna add some details to the background. I'm gonna do all those water bubbles and light areas. So I'm gonna give it that atmospheric effect, and then we can redefine the planet a little bit. I'm gonna finish the castle. Probably gonna add something to bind everything together to make it one part, you know, like some atmosphere, some clouds down here. And I don't know, maybe if we have more time, then we can work on the fish or the stone, the rock, and the girl. I didn't block in the girl. I'll leave that for next time. So, thank you so much, Louis. Let me come and look at you. I mean, thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. And I'm gonna see you next time, next Friday at 11 o'clock. Till next time. Oh, and tune in Sunday at 1:45 p.m. It's I'm having the bee video, you know, the bee mural, bee butt mural, and that's when it premieres. If you want to come and join the chat, that'd be swell. If not, you can just watch it whenever. I'll see you next time, guys. Mwah. Thank you so much, and have a lovely weekend.